Okay. Hey guys, we're over here fretting about lighting. The can lights behind me were like giving me a halo, or like it looked like there were stars of the galaxy around us. So now we're trying to hustle to get lighting right. We moved back to the kitchen just because Joe sleeps in the room next to the room that we were doing lives in, and we were going a little bit later than usual. A couple times I didn't really want to bother her, keep her awake. So how's everybody doing out there? Whoa. It has to be plugged into a source. Give it to me. That source isn't plugged in. Here, plug it in here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now you can hit it. Hit it again. Just okay. Sorry, technical problems. I don't know if you guys, they could probably tell because of that behind me that I'm doing something crazy over here. Hi, gang. How are you doing? We're trying to get our lighting issues figured out, and it's not working out for us. Oh boy, oh boy. Yo, running farm in the house. How are you guys doing? You guys had a good live going on over there. Hello, the newbie steaders. Crazy Life Homestead. The gang's all here. How are you going? I personally love Wednesday nights too. And like I've been a little neglectful for lives, but like this night, and it's not just because it's my live, but it's like the people's that I like to really get in their lives and talk and stuff. I'm excited for emus too. I really can't wait.
You've always liked emus.
Yoo-hoo! Patty's in the house. How are you, Patty? How's the weather in Oregon? Crazy Life Homestead. It's always technical. I swear, if it's not like my camera dying mid-film or something happening in the background, usually it's like animals being really gross or nasty in the background. Hey, Fleetwood Patch, how are you? Then we've got Emma from Sunny's Place. The Funky Bunch. Doing okay. Oh, Margie's saying hi, Margie.
Hello, Margie.
How are you doing today, Margie? I heard you were in the 40s today. That was your weather today?
Oh, yeah, it was nice here today. We were walking around in t-shirts.
Yeah, it was really, it felt very surreal being without a hat and without a coat. So that was nice. Say, all is well here. Have to check my bees tomorrow. My bees were out in force yesterday, but I think they were taking cleansing flights. But I also feel like I filmed, if anybody caught my short today, when I slowed it down when they were coming in, I think I was having a miniature orientation flight, but I won't know that for sure because I can't get in to see like if my queen's laying again. But we did feed them. We fed them yesterday. And if you don't like feeding, then you can, if you don't like feeding your bees, then just keep it to yourself. You can see and hear us just fine. Good. Because the last time why we moved over to that room is we wanted to get closer to the Wi-Fi because it was coming across really grainy. So I don't know. Same. I pulled it up and then I'm really bad, Emma. So I've got it all pulled up and ready, but then I'm like, I want to make sure I'm doing it right because he books all of the trips.
It's a bad thing to trust me though, because we had a vacation what was it, last fall?
It was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago. Yeah, I booked a room for the wrong day, and I got a notification like, "Hey, are you coming down?" And I'm like, what? And yeah,
he booked it like a week early, which was okay. It was not a big deal. It was a cheap room, so
yeah,
it was fine.
And the dates mixed up.
Yeah. So Patty says sunny and in the 40s here, so nearly spring. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Like we are just like, come on, spring. Like don't. I'm like, don't be a tease. It's okay. We don't need you to be a tease. Hey Evelyn, how are you this evening? I hope you're doing well. Margie's got 43 degrees. What crazy life? See, you can get in. You can crack into your hives now because 75 degrees. Yeah, I'd be doing a hive inspection. We're not getting above like 50, and even like then, I'm like, I really don't know what the next couple of months hold. So here, like in East Central Indiana, February sucks, March kind of sucks, and then April's when you start feeling hope, like true hope. So I know I really have to resist cracking that propolis before. I wore a hoodie when I was out doing. I know, Emma, so nice, wasn't it so nice? It felt really weird.
My problem is everything's mushy now because all the snow melt. So
and my goats have gotten really bad about trying to jump on me when I'm not being quick with my gates. because I need to have a better feeding system. But for right now, I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with. And when they jump on me, it like literally flung mud and goat excrement and donkey excrement all over my face. I'm like, this is lovely. I love the 50 degrees, but not being with poop. Hey, Braxton. Hey, y'all. I lost a baby. She was born breech and didn't make it in the cold. It's tough when they're born breech. That is really, really tough when they're born breech. That's one where you like have to be on top of it. And I hate when people are like, don't intercede. A breech can be done fine. Yeah, it can, but it can also kill really fast too. So in those situations, that's when I'm like, I need to be there. So let's see what we've got going on tonight, guys. So everybody's giving us their wonderful. Oklahoma is at 57. Never been so happy. But I'm sure after what you guys were going through last week, 57 probably feels like you're on like the surface of the sun. So Margie says, Tinker is my son nickname since he was small and still has it. He is 41. Oh, that's cute. I think mid-March I can try to get it. Yeah. It's so hard on those warm days. I'm with you. Like yesterday, I was looking at it. I'm like, I could try to do really, really quick inspections. I'm like, no, they actually, my guard bees were kind of like aggressive yesterday when I walked up. It didn't help that I had dark colors on. But like I walked up and I had a couple that just kind of bumped into me. And I was like, okay, I get what you're laying down. I'll kind of stay back. And after a little bit of like chilling out, like 20 minutes around my hive, they kind of left me alone. I'm like, remember me, guys. Look, I bring you food. It's a love-hate relationship, apparently. This is Ashley and I are officially members. I almost lost one of my bitches. Yeah, I saw that on Instagram, Emma, and I was like, poor Emma. She's got a lot going on, and the mud doesn't make it very, very fun. I sometimes wish the snow comes back when there's mud, but I will take like the snow over rain. At least like the mud is impending, but with rain, it's just like it's never ending the entire time it's happening. Hello, Chad. How are you? How are your temperatures? You're up in Ontario, if I remember correctly.
No dang.
Boot sucking mud. Yeah, that's the worst kind of mud. That and the mud that's mixed with poop being flung on you. It's great. Hey, Audra, how are you? It was 72 today, and the daffodils are out.
Oh,
Shut
nice.
the front door. That makes me feel so sad. Although I did go out and look at some of the bulbs that I planted in January because I was worried about those chill dates, if they were going to get enough time to actually get cold enough, and they're already starting to poke up. So we've got cookies going on back here. Mark loves cookies and Joe loves to bake, and I don't like baking, so I just win from that situation. They go do their own thing. So Braxton says, I can't wait for my milk does to start kidding. That was our board that lost her baby, so she wasn't needing to be milked out. Yeah, that is one of the good things, though. Like, there's no good situation where it's fun or okay to lose a kid where you're not heartbroken. But I will say, like, when dairy does lose their kid, you're like, oh my goodness, I have a lot of milking to do to start drying her up. And then even then, you're milking for a couple of days to get the colostrum out because colostrum makes the milk taste really, really funky, and you don't want to drink colostrum milk. Okay, so the tech question of the night. Do you have to be 1,000 subs to live stream on StreamYard? Nope, you don't. I don't have 1,000 subs. StreamYard is like and you can stream from your phone. So I was actually thinking about bringing you guys out to my barn this weekend at some point to do goat maintenance, if that would even be fun for anybody to do, or if I could even handle goats and goat hooves with trying to interact with you guys. But no, StreamYard can stream right from your phone. You don't have to have 1,000 subs. You have to have 1,000 subs to stream from YouTube on a phone, if I remember correctly. I wish Adrian is in here because I know Adrian over at Farmstead Smith would be like, bam, with that answer. We are at plus 3.5 Celsius today, 38 Fahrenheit for all of you Americans. Thank you for the conversion, because I'd have been like, somebody in the chat do that for me. Well, that's not bad though, chat. I mean, anything above freezing, anything really above 20 degrees now, I would say like I can handle. And when I wasn't as chunky and as well insulated as I am now, like Anything below 40, I'm like, oh, I don't want it.
Just
Now
right.
I don't care because I have insulation.
Got the butter mix right on that one. So a couple cookie tries a little while ago. I doubled the butter amount, and they came out as like pudding cookies. Yeah.
It was terrible, and he used salted butter.
Yeah.
Salty, soupy cookies. Em and Joe still made something out of it, but I was like,
we would have loved to hear what Gordon Ramsay would have said to that one. Sure, he would have called me a donkey.
He would have yelled at you and called you a donkey. You're right. She says, I think you nailed your Tech Wednesday answer. Okay, thank you. I'm glad. I'm not as good at it as like Adrienne. She researches stuff like to the T. So Sunny says, yeah, you can't stream on a phone through YouTube if you don't have 1,000 subs, but StreamYard is a workaround, and it is fantastic. I know. He tries to help me.
Yep.
Then I get real freaky and try to take it back over. Salty soup.
That's pretty much what they were, weren't they? They were soft and
here, do
gushy.
This, just because that's something I think is
okay,
like. So Chad says, I'm up to 1,600 watch hours, but only, that's not bad, Chad. That's really not bad.
That means they're interested in your content.
Yeah, that's not bad. That means somebody's watching, which is good. Because I think like right now I'm 940 something or other. I've been doing this a lot. Like I make 2 and lose 1 and make 3 and lose 5.
She gets frustrated.
And I get really frustrated because like the 1,000 mark is in sight for me. So I'm like, come on, I want my community tab.
Forbidden edge. You can't.
And then like when it comes to watch hours, like I'm only at 2,150, and because I'm already past a year, like the hours that I make in a day now, like the hours I made like a year ago on that day are taken away. So I'm kind of like trying to chug forward with that, but it's just not going well for me. Yeah, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and really for us, like that's a big thing. Even though like I know on Adrienne's like Farmstead Smith friends, like I gripe a lot, but you know, sometimes you just need to have a place with people that like understand the struggles and can relate with you. Because like sometimes I feel bad because he has to hear all of it, and he's like, I don't know what that means. Like, but I need to know my niche.
Yep.
Hey, Indiana Backyard Gardener.
Have you on tonight?
Yeah. So what were you grilling? You were grilling brats, right? And chicken? They're grilling. StreamYard is the bomb. Yeah. It is.
Yeah, we've had good luck with it since we've been using it. So
9:40. Thank you, Crazy Life Homestead. I appreciate that. Because like today I started at like 9:45. So I've gained a few today, but tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll have lost 5, and then I'll be like, whatever, it's YouTube.
So Hidden Spring Farm says, I was watering my ducks today in the Ducky Bunky Run, and boy, and dreading the spring melt with all the duck muck in there. Yeah,
I'm really wanting to get our Muscovies, even though they're really not dirty. Almost like I will say, like I'm very pleasantly surprised. That's how she sold me on those. They are not as
some ducks
mucky
when I was younger.
But they're getting there because they've been in my kidding lean-to since January. So like this weekend, I'm really hoping to get them in an outdoor run, but I do not have a duck house ready for them. And we saw mink. We saw minks last week, just like right down the road. It's been crazy. Hey, tell them what they caught in the pond, like the little creek across the road.
Yeah, like in the neighbor, he came over. He was doing donuts in the snow. Like in the field next to us. And my wife thought it was me. I was like, no, the tractor.
Yeah, I was like, why did you go in his field?
She was out there causing trouble. But yeah, he has, I guess, beavers causing trouble with his lake, the dam on the lake. And they actually trapped a river otter, which are extinct in the area, he said. So they had to let it go. But I didn't even know there was like river otters nearby.
Yeah,
so
they're not. Like there is a season for river otter, but not down in this county. And even then, I think it's like once they get to the total amount trapped, they stop.
Yeah.
Because it's rare, but like I guess up north they've got a lot more.
And he had a friend that does all the trapping for him and stuff, and he's like, I wasn't even going to try to get near the thing. He's like, the thing was ready to rip my leg off. So.
They're part of the weasel family, so like they're pretty vicious. I mean, anything to do with weasel families is like just stay over there.
Old Redding Farm said it would be better to get the watch hours than flip the subs.
Yes.
The watch hours can be super frustrating to chase.
And that's when you're just kind of hoping that like you put out a video that for some reason YouTube just grabs it and throws it into the algorithm, and then that's just like because sometimes like it's really weird how it goes. I think you guys were even talking about this, Old Redding, in your live, not even like 10, 15 minutes ago, that it kind of is like you're just flipping a coin sometimes. Like my analytics say, be the crazy goat lady, embrace being the crazy goat lady. Nobody cares about your garden, but I like to garden and I like to share my garden. So I guess that's when I'm like snuffing the YouTube gods.
Hey,
Hey, Oaks Homestead, how are you? Is this Nicole? I'm guessing because Chip works at nights, right? How's your quarantine going? Is it going well?
I don't think anybody's quarantined can go well.
Well, you can try to make the most of it.
In Spring said, that's the problem with shorts. You get a lot of views, you get a bunch of subs, but they might not be interested in your channel, then unsub. Yep.
Yeah, this is true. Well, and I've seen a lot of people have that. And like, if they don't interact with your content after they sub, or they don't watch for so long, or leave like some type of engagement, YouTube's like, fake. It's get rid of it. Mm-hmm. So like, even though they might not watch your content, YouTube might be like, yeah, that's not real at all. I do Old Redding Farm. I have an all playlist that's like watches from the beginning, because Emma actually put out on one of our Facebook groups that Dean Nimmons and somebody else, and I really am upset that like I don't remember his name, was doing different channel reviews, which is kind of interesting because like we've been involved in channel reviews before, but some of the stuff they were giving, I was like, where's my notepad and my pen? Because it was just really good stuff. And I'm sure Emma can also, attest to that. I touched the light and it started flickering.
I have like lighting issues everywhere. I know. So Indiana Backyard Gardener said chicken and brats.
Yeah.
Oh, why that cookie drove my mouth out though.
Go get something to drink.
I am. I'm sucking on water.
Water?
Yeah.
You're drinking water with cookies?
Yep. Crazy Life Homestead said sharing it for you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll get you. Yeah,
we'll get you there.
It's just a work in progress. I try not to get impatient because everybody has their own journey.
Also said minks will make a good coat. You just gotta trap a bunch. Yeah.
They're evil little suckers
Minks
too.
stink too. They have like that musk.
It smells so much like. Yeah, you guys see Nightbot? It's working. I'm sorry.
You want me?
Even though I was waiting for Adrian's video on Nightbot today, I was at work and I had like 15 minutes where I was like, nobody's bothering me. I can actually like just take a breath, and I went and hooked up Nightbot. So if this gets to be too much,
I'm proud of you. You got her IT skills can sometimes be.
They can be a little sketchy. I always
usually
do
try
things
to stay
halfway.
Away until she has issues.
I always do things halfway. So I've got Nightbot going in here, but the big announcement, we have merchandise. I put that together too. Oh. All of a sudden, like I just had like this drive of, look, the sticker. I didn't wear my shirt.
I just look out the window and see.
I have a shirt that I was wearing, and the thumbnail for this, I'm like, I'm gonna wear that tonight. And then I got cold and was like, no, I'm not. So I need to buy one of the hoodies. Thank you, Hidden Oaks Homestead. Yes, guys, please smash that like button. It helps us out a whole bunch. But we opened up a merch store. And I was pretty proud of this because getting this stupid logo to be transparent on the backside for someone like me was like pulling teeth. It took me like an entire Saturday. Mark's like, what are you doing? I'm like, trying to figure out how to make this logo transparent. It was not a good thing.
So Hidden Spring said, I'm really trying to store with my episodes. Most of my videos are over 20 minutes and some are over 30 minutes long. Are not for everyone though, but I like the content I'm making.
Yeah.
So
I will tell you, I started like making at 6 minutes. 6 minutes was like my window. And I actually just was kind of trying to find that sweet spot. And I won't tell you that I've hit a sweet spot, but I will tell you that my videos that are between like 15 to 20 minutes get me the most watch time. And honestly, you're going to have to make yourself like a committed community base. So like I do have viewers like every single video and watch it to the very end and comment all the way through. So like for me, those 15-minute videos are like gold compared to like a 7-minute video because they don't get me as much watch time. I don't know. It's like people are like, oh, you didn't care enough to make the additional 8 minutes. So, but usually I have no problem getting to a 15-minute video, but that's just me. That's not for everybody. I think they are out now, right, Nicole? Yes. Done. Oh, that's right, because you have an episode that came out today. I saw that in my newsfeed. I'm so far behind.
Mama.
Hey, Joe Mama, how are you?
Glad you could stop in.
Yeah, I'm glad you could stop in and say hello. I know like the lives aren't your thing, but I really appreciate you stopping in. Chip's working his way through. He's been going string the last 2 days. Oh, okay. Yes, Sonny's got it up there. It's Dee Nimmons and Daniel Batal. It was a really great live. I know Mallory from Quebec Homestead jumped in for a little bit too. They had some really good, interesting piece of information. I tried to put some of their tips into play, like with my last filming that you guys haven't seen yet. But I will say, like, it was tough and it feels unnatural. So I'm hoping to like tweak that and make it feel more natural. But you guys will see that soon because it's on. We've got a video coming out about biosecurity panel testing. I know, real crowd pleaser right there. Content. But like, it's been a video that I've been wanting to make, but I've been really afraid to make it because it's very polarizing. And my take on biosecurity panel testing, like when you get positives, is not a popular viewpoint. Though many serious breeders, this is just what they practice. And if I want to have good stock and I want to have some of the best stock in my area, I need to act like the big breeders and do what they do when it comes to quality and biosecurity. Not like some of the weird, like down low shifty things that some breeders do. But when it comes to that, I'm like, I want to at least have like the healthiest stock I can have. Oh, you are getting clicky.
Yeah. On my shorts, I'll get like 40 views for 3 days, and in a few hours, I'll get like 600 views, and it just stops.
Almost when shorts came out, you could almost time it down to 48 hours. 40 hours and some change. And it's like, if it's going to hit the shelf, it's going to hit by day 2. Now, like, I've seen where it's been out for like a week, and then all of a sudden it'll hit, or I'll have something where it says it's on the short shelf, but it's just like trickling, and it's been on the shelf for like a week. I don't get shorts. They're just like voodoo witchcraft to me. I just like throw it out there. I'm like, if it does good, it does.
Indiana Backyard Gardener wants you to introduce
what is Nightbot? Well,
it's like Knight Rider.
Yeah, it's basically like a bot. So obviously Nightbot is
well, that was a good explanation.
He's a
Wikipedia.
Bot. So I've set up Nightbot to kind of like put in links for me. So like to say, hey, if you want to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, here's our link. Hey, if you want to be super swag, I think I have some like super cheesy, like I put in some super cheesy lineage verbiage for that, where it's like you'll look berry fly in our merchandise.
Oh wow.
Mom joke.
One-liner from Ashley. But it was cool because she explained too, like I guess it also like detects how many comments are in the chat, and will just like spam it.
So like you can set it up to where it doesn't spam.
Cool.
So I can say like, hey, there at least needs to be 20 lines in the chat. It especially like you can put it in time increments, but like say like your chat's going kind of slow. You don't want to have Nightbot being like the only thing that's going on in your chat. So I'm like, there needs to at least be like 15 to 20 lines of chat before Nightbot will jump in and say something.
I think we have to blame Emma for it though, because last time she said that there was no ad before our live.
Yeah.
So Ashley made ads with
Nightbot. Is my
that was her resolution to that.
Yeah. Joe Mama, I saw that. I actually got timed out because I used all caps. And I like Nightbot where I could do that. And I'm like, no, because like sometimes when I come into a chat and someone's in there that I know, like Emma or Adrian, I'll be like, Adrian, like in all caps. And I got timed out. So I'm like, okay, like I don't want to do that because like I encourage people to be excited and use caps. Now, like don't go cussing me out in caps because then I really notice you. But yeah.
Emma wants to confirm, is there really a shirt? It was in the picture for the live. So that really is.
It is. Okay, Emma. Hold on.
To get her shirt. It's going off into the dark place for it. So hurry up, because they're going to ask me all these secret questions about you, I'm sure. Backyard Gardener, that's me. I will leave a long comment commenting the whole way through. That's totally fine with us. Yep. Leave all the comments you want. Did you find it already? It's not on the front. You got it inside out.
Just so you guys can see, like I don't have it. I put it on backwards.
This is what I work with daily. Just a secret. Before she goes to work, I have to. That's what I said. So before she goes to work, I have to check her attire to make sure everything's in orderly fashion.
Work sometimes.
No, it doesn't, because she usually ends up going to the barn before she goes to work, and then she'll come in and be like, "Look what I got on my jeans," and it's like mud. So.
Oh, okay. I guess like this is the whole point.
There it is. The logo.
It exists, and my hair is
pointing at your chest in the picture, probably.
I did it like this.
I know, but I was pointing at it, which might look a little different.
Over. I left, and he tried to like take center screen, and I'm like, oh yeah. So there really is a shirt.
Yep. Talking about the comments, I was laughing because India Backyard Turner said I would leave a long comment coming the whole way through. I said we like comments.
Yeah,
so.
Comments are fun, and I like stopping to answer them.
Joe Mama said anything longer than 20 minutes or so, I just don't have time for that. Yeah.
And there are some people like that content is just not for them. But I think that's also when you start kind of exercising like short storytelling and not so much like the shorts, but
some of my channels will put the like sectioning the video to get the spots you want.
Yeah, they'll give chapters.
That always helps me too if I reach.
Can you guys see us? Can you hear us? So that like our playback isn't just a black screen with me screaming, ah!
I know you scrolled down. I lost all my comments.
Sorry, see the shirt exists.
There it is.
Yeah, she doesn't have time for the 20 minutes.
Yep.
Bye, Joe Mama. It was good seeing you.
Yep. She got to see a shirt too. Emma's paid anymore, so I think I'm done with the ones I'm creating right now. Excited to test out the new idea though.
Yeah, I agree. I've got one short that I'm creating, but it is like purely a storytelling. It's not just me like out with the bees or anything. Like I have expectations for this one, so and that's probably not safe to go in with an expectation on a short. Maybe more so like in the artistic realm where I'm like, I want this to be really cool and not just like total crap. Because sometimes just stuff we make is total crap. But if we took time to make it, we should post it. So Laugh Festival. Yeah, I'm glad you like that, Patty.
I'll just say, quick, tell us your secret.
I am an open book.
I don't think we have enough time to go through them.
No, don't say that.
If you get a chance, go watch our live stream the other day. Oh, she's talking about Nimmin.
Yes, it was super good. It was so good. And trust me, if Emma tells you need to go back and watch somebody's live, you need to go back and watch somebody's live.
I think this one's about your shirt, saying, "Yay, it's so happy and colorful."
I know. I was hoping that it would be. Oh, you're back. See, we were gone.
Yep, we lost.
Oh man. No, it wasn't you. It was us. Like, could you hear me screaming in the background? Like, where'd they go? Because our screen went black, but then it kept coming back up. You guys are such rock stars, hanging out for like 2 minutes for buffering.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we did get a notice the other day that Starlink may be available, so we went ahead and put the deposit in. So
I felt super high tech when you told me we got that
we might be
email.
Advancing to.
It probably won't be here for a while, but it's good to know that we've already got our name on the list
now. So
yeah, and I'm sure like Chip and Nicole, you guys know how that is living in the country and having like doo-doo internet. We got doo-doo internet.
It's weird though, because like some days it's really good, and then some like we can run like Netflix on three TVs some days, and then other days.
Not that we try to do that all the time.
Yeah, we do. Each of us grabs a room and watches. She's bad for like wanting to work in a room and then like putting it on and then walking out.
Especially if like I'm cleaning the entire house, like the TV's on in every room because like I'm moving from every room has a different thing on.
Yeah.
And then I have to go back and rewatch it later.
It's like a theater. You walk down the hall and like you hear different things from different rooms.
That's just like the way it is in my mind, which is actually super scary.
And Spring says, I've been making a serious effort to keep my videos under 20 minutes. As soon as I saw my wife snoozing,
It's okay.
She was probably just tired.
It's okay. Yeah. It's all right.
Maybe your voice was like very soothing,
yes.
and that's why.
Or it could be like, you could be like him, where it's like, I'm just so used to you that it's like, I was there when you were doing this, so I don't need to watch the video. But he is a trooper. He watches the videos for me.
Crazy Life said, I'm still trying to figure it all out. No stories, just rambling.
It's tough. It really is. So, like, I try to take notes from the big guys, even though I probably shouldn't, because, like, they probably had, like, those 1 or 2 videos that, like, hit it really big for them, too. But I love Wiedemann Reap, and I will always point out how she story tells. And being in one of the Facebook groups with her and actually reading what she does, she's like, I have storylines for everything. She's like, and I write it down, and then we see where that storyline could take us. She's like, I write out all of the different ways that could come out and how I would want to film each and every one of those outcomes. And I'm just like, can you just call me and tell me all this? Because, like, it was amazing, but sometimes I guess when you get that big and you really are invested into a storyline, because she anthropomorphizes her animals, which means she gives them, like, human qualities. So, like, you've got, like, the bossy one who is Luna, and then you've got, like, super sweet and shy Willow the goat. So, like, she creates these characters that her viewership bond onto. They bond into it, so they're a part of the story.
Like Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah. What?
Dr. Dolittle.
Dr. Dolittle, yeah. But, like, it's amazing how she does it, and I've tried to do that, but then I do all the things. So, like, sometimes it's not always the goats.
Hidden Oaks wants to know, how many bees did you start with? 4,362.
Shut up. That was such a
we had a couple failed attempts at first.
2 failed attempts before this one.
And then I sort of jumped off, and then she jumped on the bandwagon. And she's
which that probably is. I'm not going to say, like, it's because, like, I jumped in, but it's nice when you have both people are into what's going on your farm. So you had gotten 2 packages before. How many pounds were they? Because usually, like, if you order a package of bees, it's going to be in pounds.
I remember it was like 5.
It was like 5 pounds, and, like, the people at the post office were horrified.
Yeah. They
called it like 7. They're like, you can come now. We're open now for you. Just you come get them. But we actually had 2 hives. So the first year, they kind of did good, and they survived the winter. And then there was one warm day in March where we went out, and they were just really active. And then we came out again a week later, and they were gone. They'd swarmed and left. They didn't like where they were at, or maybe they were sick. Sometimes they say when bees abscond, it's for they don't like their environment, or there's something wrong with that colony and they're sick and they leave. And then the second one was really focused on brood but no stores, and actually got robbed by another colony. And they were driven up. They swarmed in October and left, and their stores had been robbed. They swarmed. It was like, these bees are dead. Like, they would never make it with no stores in winters here in Indiana. But last year, I got on a waiting list for a 5-frame nuke from a local apiary, and we bought that. But then, like, a week before we were supposed to go get it, our friends down just a little ways down the road called and said, hey, there's a wild swarm in our tree. Do you want to come get it? And at first, his answer was no, we don't want to come get it. And the more we thought about it, I'm like, hey, I just paid like almost a couple $100 for bees. Like, these are free bees that have probably overwintered and are stronger for it. So we went and caught them, and we ended up starting with 2 hives. And I will tell you, 2 hives was fantastic to start with, because we had hives that we could compare. So I could compare the Buckeye hive, which was our 5-frame nuke, with our wild swarm, which is the CC hive. And that's fantastic, because I could kind of gauge how productive they were being or what was going on by just doing both hive inspections in one day. So that's my 2 cents on that, if you're still here.
Hidden Spring said, I only get 4.8 megabytes per second. It takes me 16 hours to download a video. Ooh, man.
That's rough.
Yeah, I think Starlink was offering, like, from what I've seen, it was like 130 megabytes per second. But we know your pain. We've, like, snuck to Walmart and, like, shopped around.
Shopped and was on my phone, like download. And it was so funny, because Joe's like, I was like, man, it's really uploading here. And she looked, and she's like, look. And she found the router.
Yeah.
So I was like, Mark, we need to look at things in this aisle. And like within 5 minutes, like my video was uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a longer video. So I was like, score. But now that I work at a university and I go to the office, I kind of bum their internet when I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they actually do have like a guest Wi-Fi that I'll sign my iPad onto and do all of my uploading there if I can't get it done here at home. So, and with like, especially with you, my dear, with 20 plus minutes, yeah, it's going to take a while for that to upload.
Yeah, it's a lot of content.
I didn't get to look up baby metal.
Speaking of rock stars, I thought you somebody.
What? Rockstar Energy? No.
You drink them sometimes.
I drank Rockstars back in the day. They're too syrupy now.
So Crazy Life said, I'm limited to story based because I only have horses, dogs, bees, and gardening.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Especially like I found the more things you're into, the tougher it is to kind of tie everything in. Because like I've noticed some people are really good about giving you a little bit of everything every single video. And where I'm just like goats in one, and then the next one's bees. So it is really hard to kind of string all of the things going on that you have to offer on your homestead in one episode, especially when you're trying to keep it to maybe a time constraint.
Rustic Tradition said, I want to get bees maybe next year. I'd say
They're
go for
fun.
it. Yeah.
I really, really enjoy beekeeping. Yeah. I did not think I was going to.
I mean, there's a little bit of initial investment, you know, the bee suit and then the hive and everything else.
Yeah, it is expensive, but if you can get the freebies, I see you, Emma, there with your little pun, your freebies. But if you can get freebies, then sometimes that does cap down the cost. How much did you pay for when he bought the packages? They were from southern states, so they were not local bees.
And
how much did you pay?
Expensive. I don't remember. It was.
I pay. So I'll be right up front, like money wise. So for the 5-frame nuke, which was a mated queen that came with 5 frames full of either honey, well, probably mostly brood. It came with almost all brood, which was good. I wanted the population boost when they got there. It was $175. And that was pretty good for this area. And the fact that they were local made me a little bit more willing to lay money down. Now I do, you know, Bruce over at Swarmstead would probably be a much better resource to go ask that question to, though, because like he specializes in capturing swarms, and I'm pretty sure he'll turn around and sell them. I think. If anybody in here knows that that's wrong, tell me in the chat. But if not, I'm pretty sure that's what he does, which makes sense because when you have an overabundance of bees and you have people that want to beekeep, like it only makes sense to sell mated queens with somewhat started colonies. Hello, Michelle at Sweet Pea Farm and why?
Sunny said, wait till I get to work and upload there. It takes 15 minutes.
Smart gal.
Yep.
I will say, though, because I got moved in my working arrangement there, I have an office, but it's surrounded by, like, blocks, concrete block, and it is tough to upload there. So, like, I'll go to, like, on a break and go sit, like, somewhere specific and just, like, act like I'm on my iPad and, like, I am uploading YouTube videos.
Yep. Crazy Life said library, Starbucks, McDonald's, and such.
Yes.
Yeah, those places all work good.
Yeah, they work so good. That makes me so. But like then when we had the pandemic, I was like, I can't go to Walmart now.
I always think it's funny too when I see people like I guess have crappy internet. They'll like live stream from like McDonald's or something. Some of my people do.
Yeah.
Follow
Zoom meetings and stuff.
Yeah. So that's what we are going to try to start to do this year. More than one thing in a video.
It's really tough though because you guys have seen my videos. I like to talk a lot, and I don't know how I would like take what I'm doing and like section it up into like 2-minute increments. Like if I do a farm update, like a vlog style farm update, I can do that because I'm literally just like moving from thing to thing. But like if I've got like maintenance going on, or we've got breeding happening, or kidding, or just donkeys getting a farrier visit, like sometimes I find that really hard to throw in. But I guess that means that I as a creator need to be a little bit more specific and picky on what I'm putting into a video. And honestly, like viewership might appreciate that, not seeing everything and just seeing like the interesting parts of that specific event on the farm.
Yep. Indiana Backyard Gardener said, I tried to designate days: Monday gardening, Tuesday cooking, and Friday rabbitry.
That makes sense. So, and Old Redding, were you going to be doing that? I thought I'd seen that you'd taken a poll on that, like doing specific videos like on specific days. I think that's a fantastic way to help your viewership understand what they should be expecting from you, like on what days. Like today, I really wanted to have my biosecurity panel testing video out, but it is a bad word to edit right now. Like it's not fun for me to edit it. I'm having trouble making myself, so like I had a short today, but I don't know. It's exhausting sometimes with some of those videos.
Rustic Tradition said, yeah, the cost is why I'm waiting. I have too many projects this year. That's funny.
And do not buy used. Please don't buy used equipment. You don't know what you're buying. You don't know why that equipment is empty now. It's a lot safer just to buy new, because I mean you could be bringing in a whole lot of different things.
Sunny's place turned into the Nightbot.
Ooh, Sunny's place is yes. Get your sweet Mulberry swag. Thank you, Emma. You're so sweet.
Michelle said, I paid $150 locally for my nuke a couple years ago. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It is expensive, and I mean you can go on Amazon and look up all the different
types of Redding said that's cheap. We paid them so much just for a nuke.
And when I was looking at some other things like further north or further south, like they're getting up around like $300. I'm like, I will just catch me some freebies. And it's really not that tough. They're probably the most docile while they're swarming.
Mm-hmm. In the spring said, I'll be building my custom ultimate chicken coop this spring. I've been figuring out how to build it in my head lately. You'll be astonished, I think. I'm excited for my viewership to watch.
Yeah, because your ducky bunkie is like goals. It is serious goals. My duck bunkie is not going to be like that. I'm going to call it the quack den. But then I don't know if like it applies because technically Muscovies don't quack. So it's like the quack list den. Or I thought maybe like the quack of dawn, because like my dad was one of those dads where like if your butt crack showed, like if you were bent over, he'd be like, I see the crack of dawn. Like, dad joke for the day. My dad was just like,
he's got a bunch of them.
He's got an arsenal to pick from.
So Crazy Life said, check out Frederick Dunn, a beekeeper observer, and does plenty of equipment comparisons.
Ooh, cool. That's good, because I've seen a lot. We do the Langstroth hives, and I have an 8 frame, and I also have a 10 frame. And honestly, the only reason we have 2 different sizes of Langstroth hives is because one was gifted and the other we chose. I think I would rather stick with like the 10 frame, but that's like totally up to you how you want to do it. But I'm going to tell you what, when a 10 frame deep is full of honey, ooh, wear your back brace, because it is heavy. I was kind of floored because I'm always like, hey man, I can do this. And I picked that up. I'm like, whoa, this is really heavy.
Indiana Backyard Runner said Tractor Supply offers grants for stuff like these. Oh, that's cool.
Do they really?
It's awesome. A lot more places should support it.
They really should.
Yeah.
They really, really should. And I know it's been a really big concern because we have a farmer right next door. And we have road crews that come through, and they didn't spray last year. But I might have to call my county this year and be like, if anybody is going to spray around my house, I need to have a 48-hour notification so that I can brace my hives for that and get them to shut them in or keep them from having, because I worry about blowover. Now, the farmer next door, I don't think he does many chemical treatments, if at all, because we've never had issues. Well, we've only been doing it for 1 year, and both of them look like they're healthy and kicking. Yeah. But I know like we still got a little bit more winter to go, so I knock on wood that they make it all the way through.
Drop said, Swarmstead said yesterday on a live that he calls up local people that want swarms to come by them.
That's good though, and good for him awesome. For like being entrepreneurial in that way.
Opportunity.
Well, yeah, he gets to pursue his passion and things that he likes to do, make a couple bucks, and make somebody else happy, and grow that passion or that want for more people to be beekeepers.
Emma said, haha, nobody at work cares. We have an open office, but I just upload as soon as I get to work, and I'm getting coffee or during my lunch break.
It makes sense, though. I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense. The people I work with are weird. And if anybody in here, I'm pretty sure nobody from work is in my life, but I'm sorry, some of y'all are weird.
Audra said, I used to like rock stars, but after a night long of Kager bombs made with rock stars, I can't stand the smell of them.
That'll probably do it, Audra.
I'm sure those faces probably represent how you felt afterwards.
Sure. I'm sure.
Oh, hit no
you guys are going. I'm so excited. I bought my tickets today. Emma bought her tickets today. I still need to book the hotel room.
I know. I had to figure out what that charge was on the bank account.
Did you? I didn't tell him. He watches like a hawk. He's not mean about it or nothing. Like, I'm not saying that, but like, it's good. I like that he watches like a hawk.
Instances where like I had like charges that weren't ours. So
and we have.
Yeah. So
like some really naughty charges where it was like, whoa. I was like, Mark, what have you been doing? And it was not him. So your poll said no, Old Reading. I'm surprised by that. I figured like that they would like more structure. So I asked Old Reading, because before they had posed a question like, hey, what do you think about like us posting on specific things on specific days? And it was a suggestion that they poll their viewers, and their viewers said no. Which good for you for going like with an idea, polling them, and then going with what your viewers said they wanted or didn't want. Yes, I'm sorry, like, but I don't know if it's because like of biosecurity panel testing with goats, but now like biosecurity is in the front of my mind on a lot of things where I'm like, this isn't coming on the farm. Nobody's walking through my barn. We're getting plastic booties for people's barns or boots if they want to actually come into my barn, because I'm starting to invest in my livestock and my bees and my chickens, where I'm like, I don't want anybody to ruin this for me because they had a disease on the crud in their boot. So, which can happen.
I must say I should call my duck pen the Swedish sauna.
Please, Emma, please. Dude, we need to get together and do like a bunch of a collaboration with our creative names for like our chicken coops or our duck houses, because I've seen some really good ones. Yeah. I did paint a sign where it would for my chicken coop, and it's going to be called Casa de la Mother Cluckers. I've got the sign painted. I just need to put it up, but I'm super proud of it. Mark's like, Hey, oh, thanks, MB Heritage Farms. Yeah. I'm glad you got to stop in and say hello. Saw you over at Lala Farms Live earlier.
It's spring. My puppy just farted real bad. I gotta leave for a sec. Be right back. That's comment
they need
of the
to go
night
outside.
Right there.
Yeah. Can we? Yeah. I need to learn how to pin comments.
I was worried that might have been something you've used for your Nightbot language, but
don't tempt me, because I would put something.
Gotta leave for
like
a second.
That.
Go visit
the puppy farted.
Go visit the MB.
Was it really the
Mulberry
puppy
Branch
though?
merchandise.
I've blamed the dogs a couple times.
Hey, Cody.
That's all I'm
Good
saying.
to have you in tonight.
Hey, Cody, how are you? You're not on your homestead.
I know. I was like,
what? It threw me off. I'm like, Cody Tincher, what? You mean like Owl Creek Homestead? Is that
Crazy Life said 10 frames are super heavy, 50 pounds and full beads. I have one hive that is a flow hive, honey straight from the hive.
Do you like it?
Wow.
I've looked at those, and like I was watching Adrian's short on it the other day, and like it's so tempting. It's super tempting. Like there's a lot about it that's tempting. And she was saying there's a lot of cheap ways to like make a flow hive, like with regular frames from a Langstroth hive. You just kind of have to like mess with it, and I'm excited to mess with it.
You made Cody feel bad. He's switching to his owl.
Oh, it's okay.
He said, "Don't blame other people for your naughty purchases." If they could just purchase,
to shame you into switching your name, Cody. I'm sorry.
Too bad those bad purchases weren't for our merchant.
Yeah, okay. I don't have naughty things with our logo on it though.
Sure.
Maybe a new venture. We go where the dollar takes us. Yeah. This is better. Yes.
Yep.
I'm used to seeing you in this outfit. Hey Isaac, how are you? How are your girls doing? How are your goats doing?
Hidden Spring says, I'm back. Got some Febreze with me. Yeah. Depending on what your dog can eat. That can, When
my dying to get into the goat pen, and it's because everything's super everything like.
Or if they find something on the
super
road,
soggy.
Bring it back.
Well, they've been bringing in bones still. Like I was digging snow off of the deck,
We're not
and
gonna
I found a spine. I'm like, I found an entire spine. I'm like, where did you guys get this from?
I'm getting a little worried that the garbage man's going to think we're up to something.
It is like what Dexter it is. I'm sure he's seen some weirder things.
True.
I'm sure he has seen some pretty weird things.
Crazy Life said, I like the flow hive. Still learning how to get honey from it. I'll keep you posted.
Yes. I would be interested to see how it goes, because I am really interested in the whole idea of it.
Cody said to make up for it, you got a like from both accounts. Don't forget to like the video if you're watching.
I'm going to harass you more often.
Guilted him.
Make sure you come in as Cody next time so I can harass you and come back in as Owl Creek Homestead.
Rustic Tradition said Flow Hive is the one I'm looking at. I need super simple.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I think Flow Hive also was the one that used what was his name? He's a big time actor. He was played Thor. Remember he got a Flow Hive. I'm like, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like showing it.
I'm like, oh, I bet the sales on that went up.
I know.
He's out there with his
want to buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out there with like his little kids. He's like, we've just invested
slow
in
motion, him draining the honey out.
And does he have an Australian accent? Yeah, so I was just like, okay, tell me about the Flow Hive.
Yeah. Audra said, my puppy farted while I was carrying him down some stairs inside an apartment building. There was a guy coming up with him, stench it. Crop dusted the poor guy.
And he probably thought, man, that lady.
Yeah.
He probably was not thinking, that puppy.
Yeah. Can't blame it on the dog sometimes.
Yeah, when they're not around.
Yeah. So Emma said, I was really surprised at the ugly stuff people were telling Adrian about her short.
I tried to stay away from like some of that because we were, and it was in Adrian's live where we were talking about like the typing it out and then deleting, because like I found myself typing it out and deleting it because I'm like, I'll just give her moral support like in the background because that's where she's going to need it. But she has some bad luck. I don't know. But I heard Silhouette Park Farm got trolled hard the other day in their morning. Well, it's night for them, but it's morning here for us because they're in Australia. That they must have got hit pretty hard with trolls. I didn't get to go into that. Like I usually listen to them on my way to work because they come on at that time. But that morning I didn't go to work on Tuesday. That's why I had a dentist appointment. And then I didn't feel well the rest of the day because 44 degrees made it hurt.
Ridiculous.
I don't care.
Crazy life. Flow Hive needs a season for bees to draw out the comb out on the frames. That's sense.
What I was wondering. I'm like, so it would still probably take time because they make their own drawn comb.
Oh, hey Isaac.
Hi Isaac.
2 of my silkies were fighting earlier today, hen and rooster, and they made the rooster all bloody, so now he's sitting in the old rabbit cage in the barn.
Oh, that sucks. Are they?
Poor guy.
My chickens
she did not
are straight up making babies in our coop. Like, but I have stop. But like, I have noticed that like the aggression levels from all of the chickens go like way up when they like right now, especially because Isaac, you're in Indiana too. So right now is where their breeding season is starting to pick up. And I've noticed like my roosters are trying to kill one another. My hens are trying to hurt one another. There's just hen on hen violence and rooster on rooster violence and then cross-gender violence. It's ridiculous.
The hood out there,
it is like the hood. And you've got turkeys out there trying to be bouncers.
Yeah.
It's
a whole new ecosystem.
Yeah, it is a whole new
Audra said, try to explain to him by judging the look of disgust on his face. He didn't believe me.
Oh.
Yeah. Probably, nope.
That's all right. Joe, like
not buying what you're selling.
When she was really young, and she will still do this, by the way, at the ripe age of 11 years old, she would fart in the grocery store, like hike her leg and push really hard where you're like, you are going to make a mistake one day pushing like that. And she would do that and be like, Mommy?
Yeah. Yeah, she has no problem passing the buck.
She waits until there's like 5 or 6 people in the aisle too where I'm like, I swear it was not me. But she farts like a man. Don't have to worry about a boyfriend for that one for a while. I'm like, you keep farting in the public, honey. I'll keep them away a lot longer.
My luck will be a guy that likes that for some reason.
No. Got a flatulent fetish.
Emma said, I heard about Silhouette's live.
I know. Isn't that awful?
And she also said, my rooster is trying to kill me. Say, we'll do that sometimes.
Mine are kind of like I said, they're really angry. They're angry little fellers out there.
Oh, thanks for stopping by,
Old
Reading Farm.
Thank you, Old Reading Farm. I appreciate having you guys in here. You guys are always so much fun to talk to.
Rustic Tradition said, our turkeys have started a gang, I think, and they demand payments daily from the chickens. They
are, and they will zero in on like 1 or 2, and they hate them. So like my salmon Favril, my mature salmon Favril, because I've actually got 2. I've got one that's from last year's hatch and one that's from like 2 years ago. But like the older one, they hate him. Yeah. Like to the point they run him underneath the coop where I'm like, thank God you are such a short, stout little fellow that you can get right under there in a hurry. Because it's the toms too.
That's funny. Demand payment.
But they
it's
hate
like
the
a tax
dogs.
collector.
That's a terrible movie too.
Pay for protection.
Yeah. I don't know. So what do you you guys all have going on this week? Tell me something fantastic that has happened to you this week.
I made the mistake earlier today because of the nice weather. We instantly started thinking of projects. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to probably go this weekend to pick up some lumber for our barn. And then that just like entailed to the whole lunch hour of her talking through plans. It was incredible.
It was not the whole lunch hour because somebody forgot they needed to call their wife on her lunch hour. You had a meeting and then you went and did something and forgot about me.
That was bad. Actually, I got something in the mail and I ran out to the mailbox.
That's what it was. He was like, I got a gift. Who cares about her? But he did call and like he's like, I think I'm gonna do this. Oh, you could get this lumber and like I'm gonna go and look at all this stuff and see what kind of materials we have for our duck house because I need them out of my kidding pen because kidding is coming in like a month and they need to be out of there and I need that not to smell like ducks in there for a So.
Hey, Tina Ladybug, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes, thanks for stopping in, Tina Ladybug.
Audra said, won't work.
You're getting real.
My girls used to come over and sit in my lap, put their arms around my neck, tell me they love me, then purposely rip one on my leg and run off laughing.
It's worse when you can feel it too, where you're like, oh, yuck.
Rustic Tradition said, oh my God, I have one salmon hen. I have to say that word right because she makes fun of me because I always call it salmon. I don't know why.
He makes fun of me for saying, instead of saying crayons, I say crowns. So if he's going to make fun of me for that, I can make fun of him for salmon.
And she is so chatty, I call her Kathy.
Chatty Kathy. Mine are not chatty. My Easter eggers are super chatty, like egg song all day. Speaking of egg song, I was in the barn the other day, and I have one hen that goes all the way up into the very tippy top of my hayloft on the tallest hay bale stack, and she lays eggs up there. So I literally can't get to those eggs until the hay's gone, probably in like late July, and they're going to be so much fun. It'll be like handling a bomb. I will be the hurt locker of rotten eggs. Like I will try to like carefully diffuse it and get it out of there without it exploding because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be successful.
Emma said the gobbledygooks versus the mother cluckers. That is awesome.
I love it. The gobbledygooks. I love it.
Rustic Tradition said, I'm hoping to get some cantaloupes, tomatoes, and green beans planted, but we'll see.
We're not even close to that here, Rustic. We're not. Oh, but I will have a fodder video next week because we were talking over in Michelle's live like a few weeks ago about fodder. And when someone gives me an idea, I'm all hot to trot. And then it sits in my kitchen or somewhere in my house for like 2 months before I move on it. Well, I finally got some motivation and hung up my grow lights and started growing some barley and microgreens for my chickens. And it's almost like this tall. So I think this weekend I'm going to give it to them. But like I'm enjoying rubbing my hand over it because
it's weird though, because like the first set she let soak for 24 hours.
Yes, it was really interesting.
And then the next one she did for 12 hours, and it's because I was a little behind.
I forgot to start the next batch because so what I did is I did every single day for like 3 days. I started a new tray, so like technically they would all mature in a row, and I soaked the first batch for 24 hours, and the next 2 batches only for 12. And the one that I soaked for 24 hours obviously germinated and sprouted a lot quicker than the other 2, but now they're almost caught up. And we started those almost like, what, a week ago? Week and a half ago. Awesome. So they're doing really, really good. I can't wait to give them to the chickens and show you guys them chowing down on them.
Hey, getting started on homesteading. Thanks for joining us tonight.
My kid still laughs when I accidentally hurt myself.
Which one's that? Oh, okay.
Oh, drops.
Ashley laughs at me when I hurt myself. So
I ask if he's okay first.
Yeah, while she's dying.
Or it's usually like if it's a below the belt hit where I'm just like, I'm not supposed to laugh. So I'm going to try
What's this mean? Audra says, how do you say orange? Do you say orange?
Orange.
Okay. I thought maybe she knew that. You
orange. Orange. Is that the right way?
I was interested. I'm like, if she said if does that add another word I can say?
No, don't give him any more to make fun of me about.
Cody said, we're in Indiana. The proper way to say it is crowns. Does anybody else really say crayons?
Yes, Cody. Yes. Coming in clutch for me.
It's called Crayola.
Crayola crowns. Stop it. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
About that.
Yeah,
he's pretty young.
We were in a public place. He's like,
I'm a kid.
Crowns? You say crowns? Like, yeah, I do.
Like,
he's like, do you mean crayons. He's like, well, you say crowns? But for some reason, whenever he was saying crowns, he made me sound like Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street. I'm like, don't say it like that. Just say crowns.
India Backyard Gardener said, night crazed family, night crazed life. Pretty much. Rustic Tradition said, Kathy has to come follow me around squalling the whole time. She's either really happy or she complains a lot.
She's probably like, what are you doing out here again? Get out of my coop.
I'm a mustache. I think.
Our state bug is flying around above us right now.
Yeah, stink bug. I was on a call and hit the window behind me.
Oh, and speaking, so Old Reading Farm was in here earlier, and they mentioned it in their lives, but we did the old switcheroo of the eggs because we just got an incubator, and it's one of those things where it just means I got it in December, and I've just fired it up for this special occasion, and I'm super excited to have Jeffrey and Norman babies, but the incubator I use, like, slowly rolls them, but then it has to reset, so then it'll roll like kind of slow, but it sounds just like a car pulling up in our driveway.
Even so much so the dogs are like,
the dogs are always like, who's here? And at first, like when it first happened, me and Mark were like, are we expecting company? And then we realized it was the incubator rolling the eggs back. So, well, more you know.
Getting started on homesteading said, I got my greenhouse torn down today.
Why'd you tear it down? For us, it'd be like, we got to get that sucker up.
Michelle said, yay, fodder. I've been sprouting peas for the chickens, and yes, so satisfying.
I love that because, like, the barley's like this tall, and it feels so good to, like, rub my hand across it. Sensory issues. I like soft things, too. So, like, because it feels good, I'm, like, down there in the morning after I water it, like, oh, you feel so nice.
I can't say much. I have them, too.
You do.
Remember the one as a kid?
Yeah.
Apparently, I snuck and would dig eggshells out of the trash and hide them in my room.
Now, in your defense, though, the inside of an eggshell, once it's dried out, does feel soft. But I'm surprised you get salmonella.
I don't think that's a good excuse for doing it.
It's really not. I was trying to make you feel better, but okay. Is Nightbot saying anything about our merch store? Come on, Nightbot. I've seen this for my link. Maybe I know.
Okay.
Oh,
Rustic
God.
Tradition said, have you ever tried growing scratch greens as fodder?
I have thought about it because I was reading online that people are like, yeah, it's super easy. You just like you would with that. You put it like in a tray, a little bit deep, not too deep, because you don't want to worry about mold or air circulation. I might try that though. I actually had a bag of birdseed that's been down in my basement for like 2 years. Maybe I'll try to sprout that.
Is also a winner. I say crayons.
No, rustic crowns. It said crowns.
Hidden Spring Farm says, my wife and I cleaned the farmhouse because we have a 9-day guest this Friday. Wow. And I got 10 Rhode Island red chickens eggs today, but I only have 8 hens. Must have laid too late.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, who is your guest? And is it a welcome guest? I'm guessing it's welcomed or you wouldn't clean your house for them. If I didn't want someone to be here, I'd be like, I'm not cleaning my house for you.
Audra said, Mom used to say, is it orange? So did I.
I never noticed that.
Until I moved down here and found out that wasn't right, and neither was saying pop for a beverage.
No, it's definitely pop.
Yeah.
I'm with you. That's definitely got to be a regional thing for pop, because some people are like soda.
Yeah.
I never noticed her saying orange.
Orange.
Oh. Maybe I'll start saying it that way, just because I like that a lot better. Bruce is in the house.
You guys are probably almost done, right?
No,
we're still alive
we kind of rolled for a little while.
Until we lose our connection.
Yeah, or my voice goes bad and I start out like this.
So, Indiana Backyard Gardener said, I need to do some fodder for the rabbits.
I'm going to do some barley for Mr. Leo Bunbun out there. He was super ecstatic to be out on the grass the other day, even though it was wet. You could tell he was happy that we were
did start getting
out.
him, what was it, sunflower seeds.
Yes, he likes, and he doesn't get a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
He gets just like a couple every week or so to give him as a little bit of a pick-me-up.
It's funny watching him pick them apart too.
Oh, he goes bonkers for him. He really does.
Cody said, I'll be following your fodder. I've been interested for my rabbits.
Yep, we're doing barley. And barley's super easy. It just seems easy to do. Now, I know, like Michelle was saying, she'd done peas, but weren't you doing like broccoli and some other? What else were you doing, Michelle? Because you had quite a few different fodders. It seemed like you were doing for microgreens. Maybe not just for your chickens, but I think you also were eating them as well. Maybe. That's for you, Michelle. If you're still in here.
Me.
No, Nightbot is slacking. Your mod is better. Thank you, Sunny's Place. I will have to look at it and figure out what the heck is going on with it.
Getting started on homesteading said ice storm took it down and can't be repaired for the greenhouse.
No.
Oh, bummer. Must have done pretty good number if he couldn't fix it. So.
That sucks.
Oh, so we always worry about.
Yeah,
we always try to put things away from trees because we have some old. We have
really
trees
tall honey locusts that, like, when they come down, they go a long way because they are super tall. We were wanting to do like the cattle panel greenhouse, but then I worry because I'm like, well, do I get something substantial that like wind or snow or ice isn't going to really damage it because it's built a little bit more tough? But then.
Look at Emma rocking. She's got the link in there for
being so fantastic.
Emma, you should just like take a part-time job as like a Nightbot.
You could be
human Nightbot.
The more improved Nightbot. Emma is a fantastic moderator. Here's the reason she gets wrenched all the time.
Rustic Tradition said we call all soda Cokes.
Really?
Even Mountain Dew and stuff?
Pop.
Drops. Nightbot is a player. He probably spent half his time in someone else's chat. Probably true. Hopping in and out, just doing his thing.
You're not my main interest. You're just a beginner.
Cody said, I didn't know you started a swag shop.
I know,
awesome. I'll have to
right?
check it out. Yep, she's got the shirt on now. Yeah. Behind the wording there.
Yeah.
She came out initially, Cody, you missed it, I think. She came out initially with it inside out and like there's no
just backwards.
Yeah,
I didn't hear like he's like it's inside out. So like I turned around, I'm like, it's backwards. He's like, I told you that.
Oh, this is funny. We call it pop up here in Canada, wobbly pops for beer.
I like wobbly pops. Yeah. So that sounds pretty interesting.
Audra said, nope, down here everything is a Coke, and then you ask what kind of Coke would you like? Sprite, Dr. Pepper, etc. No Pepsi.
Like, if you just said I want Sprite.
Speaking of Coke, I like the new Coke coffees. Yeah. Those are awesome.
Oh, he introduced me something new. Hey, does anybody in here drink like the Bang energy drinks? And second question, do you like Skittles? Because if you do, I have an energy drink for you. No, we're not being sponsored by Bang energy drink, but they do have a new what is called Purple Kittles, and like it tastes just like a mouthful of Skittles. Yep. To the point after I drink it and like swallow the drink, I salivate because I'm like, it's like a natural response because I'm like, that's Skittles. I need to be chewing, not drinking.
It does. I don't know how they captured it.
But we found it last week, and now nowhere can we find it. I'm like, because everybody must have caught on. Like, hey, this tastes just like Skittles. It's amazing. Even if you don't like energy drinks, just buy it for a swig.
Yeah. Indiana Backyard Gardener said, I gave the rabbits some cilantro the other day, couple strawberry another day. Oh, but they love
I bet they did. I bet they were super happy to get that.
Bruce confirmed soda. It's
no, Bruce. No, Brucey, it's not.
I would call it soda.
Or sody pop. I've heard someone call it sody pop.
That way you cover both bases.
So what do you call a couch? Is it a sofa, a Davenport, or a couch? Hit the chat with that right now.
Indiana Backyard Gardener says, I have the barley. Just need to do it.
Feel your pain. I literally have things. No shame. I have food grade buckets back here with dry food, and we're going to do a video on how we're storing dry food.
Decided to nominate me to do that video.
Yeah, this is going to be his video. Subject. He keeps asking me, like, when do you want to do it? I'm like, it's your video. You do it.
So it's the premiere of Marky Mark's video.
And he's going to run it, guys. Yeah. But it's been literally sitting there.
She gave me the exciting topic of
when did we go in quarantine? It was the end of January.
I feel like that would be a real exciting though if you were like starving to death and then you found a bucket of rice and beans, you'd be like overthrilled with that.
I'm never excited over rice and beans, but if it were apocalyptic and like I was raised someplace, I'd be like, yes, the mother love food. I'm not going to die today.
Rice and beans. So
barley and peas for poultry, broccoli for Michelle.
Yeah, she's got all kinds of stuff.
She does.
Broccoli up and barley and peas.
I wish I could be like that. I'm not. Yeah. Now I just farted in my puppy. That's revenge. That's right. You like you get what you karma goes around, comes around.
But I think pea shoots are good for salad, so I may steal some.
That's all right. You grow them. If you're just letting the chickens taste test every now and then.
office we worked at for the salad, they had a salad bar, and they would have pea shoots. Mm-hmm. Those were really good.
Those are good. They're nice and sweet.
Mm-hmm. When they're fresh.
When they're it was sometimes questionable on that cafeteria if it was fresh.
So I don't think Bruce can see me. Tell him I said hello.
Bruce, can you see Emma? Is she a ghost again?
Yeah, we need to make sure our moderators can be seen.
Yeah. She's telling everybody about our merch store that we've got now.
Make sure you see that.
Yeah, make sure you see
Rustic Traditions. I want a greenhouse, but I think it'll be gone if a hurricane hits us.
Yeah. Well, that's because you're more we get some pretty crazy wind up here, and we're not like in Tornado Alley or anything, but we do get tornado warnings. But Lynn Antler made it to one of my lives. Hello, Lynn.
She said, finally able to catch your live. What do you feed your goats besides hay?
Okay, do Rustic real quick, just because you clicked on him first.
I want to do, because I used to love Mountain Dew.
Well, not Mountain Dew.
It's my super fave, so
it's special. It's not. It's not Coke. It is It has its own thing going on. Okay. All right.
So what do you feed your goats? So
what do I feed my goats? Well, Lynn Antler, let me tell you, because I was actually making a video on this the other day, and then I got super confused.
It's not Coca-Cola.
Like it's not Coca-Cola.
Somebody was on.
Yeah, if you are on any of those like Facebook like goat emergencies 911, some of the stuff I'm like, you either need to stop hating on them and offer legitimate help, or we need to figure out why are you feeding Coca-Cola to your goat.
Hey Jeremiah, good to have you.
Yes, hello Jeremiah.
Since I can tell this one's gonna be a long one when they talk about goat feed.
I know anything that comes up goat, I'm like, let's talk for an hour on goat nutrition.
I make sure I got it before it's scrolled all
So I actually feed a combination right now because a lot of my goats, especially my does, are getting towards that 1 to 2 the last 1 to 2 months of gestation where they need a lot more nutrition and calories. So I've started introducing more grain, and I feed Calm Box milk and meat along with Calm Box textured feed.
The feed guy tried to sell some of their feed today.
He just confused me because I was trying to make a nutrition video yesterday, and I'm like,
I could tell
it's making my head hurt.
I'm like, it
made my head hurt because I've got a mix that I like. So when someone throws something else at me, I'm like, that might be good too. I'm like, just better. So I feed those two. I give like half and half of that. And I've started to introduce alfalfa pellets. I give a full scoop of alfalfa pellets, and then I give a 5th scoop of Boss, which is black oil sunflower seeds, to make sure that my calcium and phosphorus ratios are correct. Because when I was in Goat Tips and Tricks on Facebook, I asked about calcium because last week I was confused about milk fever. So if anybody was in here on milk fever, when I was like, oh, you have to pull calcium back, or that's what Purina and Hoger Farm say. But then I was talking to a small ruminants specialist who works for Blue Seal Quality Animal Nutrition. And he's like, I don't know why that's on their site. You guys could go look at it right now for milk fever. And they will tell you that you need to pull back calcium-rich feeds because the doe's body forgets how to absorb or utilize calcium from the bone, blood, and liver. But actually, you kind of need to give her a little bit more, especially dairy goats, because they require more calcium because they're producing more milk. So I'm introducing alfalfa pellets and Boss, black oil sunflower seeds. My bucks do not get grain unless I'm trying to I do herbal dewormers. So I deworm once a week with this herbal dewormer from Land of Avila. And the best way to get my bucks to sit still for me to grab them is to just give them like a handful of grain. So that's literally all the grain they get. They only get hay. Unless they're breeding, getting ready to breed, or being bulked up after breeding season. And after that, they're just on regular hay and forage. Couch. That was the
answer of the night.
I'm sorry, that was a terrible transition on my part. I stopped like,
I was going to like break in for you, but you just started yelling couch. We feed our goats a couch.
Do you guys see what he has to deal with all the time?
It's pretty much like that. It's like we're trying to like squirrel.
Yeah, but who's editing it? Yeah. Me, Chad. I'm editing it, and it's like I've got biosecurity panel testing, and it's importance that I'm editing right now.
Yeah.
I've got a goat nutrition video that I'm building right now, and then I have a dang goat that won't get knocked up that we're going to have to put a cedar in her to get her to have babies. That I'm also working on that. What?
I don't think you want to know all that.
Well, you do need to know that, Chad. And I'm editing all of it. It sucks. I do the editing.
Bruce said the first time I heard Pop was in college, I was like, what the heck does this guy want? I could see your face looking puzzled.
I know. Just,
Yeah.
Couch tater.
Drop said sunflower and pea green microgreens are the most popular ones grown.
Ooh, I might have to try sunflower ones. What are those good for? Because they're high in like protein and phosphorus. Probably not the goats though. But does that translate into the green? And I'm taking it back to like goat nutrition because like sunflower seeds for bucks are because of phosphorus and calcium ratios needing to be pretty strict because of their urethras. Bye, Jeremiah. Night, Cody. Yep. Good to see you. Hey, Gibby, how are you?
So Gibby said, "Hey guys, so I have a question. How smelly are bucks? Also, congratulations on them."
I actually don't really even smell my bucks now.
You get used to them. You do.
You do, and it does not. That smell does not bother me. It can get on my hands, and I'm like, whew. But like it. I definitely wash my hands before I eat anything after that. But like, it's not a smell that bothers me anymore. When they first got here, it's like
smell. Like it'll get on you.
It is sticky. Yeah. Like if you don't want to smell like a buck to like
don't go to like a nice restaurant
or or an outing. If you don't want people to be like, what the actual heck is that smell?
Yeah.
Don't wear anything into the buck pen that you're going to wear into public because like it sticks to you. It sticks to your hands. It will stick to your hair. Everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, they can get it. It's usually only for rut for these guys. Like if there are ladies in with them, or like there's a lot of hot does on the other side of a fence, then the urine is just a flying and it smells awful because that's what it's from, guys. They pee on themselves because they think the ladies like it.
Or on other people. When I was bent over working on something, one of them peed on me.
He came and he's like, "Why am I wet?" I'm like, "I think the buck peed on you." He was bent over fixing the fence, so I'm sure it was in retaliation.
Luckily, I saw it before I got on the couch.
Oh God!
So
those microgreens are good for tacos. Okay,
a lot of things are good on tacos.
That makes sense. Good to see you, Chad. Have a good one. So, what are your favorite microgreens to grow then, Drops? Because I know you do a lot. Sunflower microgreens. Good for calcium and iron. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does. The iron, that's good to know for like the iron because I don't really take iron into.
Do you have any other microgreens you wanted to grow?
All of the microgreens.
I like those.
There are some that you can grow that are hot.
Is a chia pet considered a microgreen?
I would guess, right? Because is that quinoa seeds on those like chia pets? Isn't that quinoa seed that's on there, or is there like other seeds on that? I don't know. That's a interesting question.
They have like all kinds of them too. I never had one. I think I wished for one.
No.
For Christmas one year.
I have a Christmas cactus and a triceratops planter in my office. It always gets a lot of compliments.
Yep.
Yeah. But some of the things that we are looking forward to here in the next couple of weeks, we are going to need to be building that duck house.
For some reason, StreamYard's slow on it. Oh, there it goes. Because I saw someone popping up on my phone. So Gibby said the buck must have been like, don't take me from my ladies.
It pretty much, and it was towards the end of breeding season. I think he kind of knew like the inevitable departure was going to happen. He's probably mad because
I didn't bring him any food.
He'll be super happy though, because like I have 3 that I will be breeding for like early or late spring, late summer, early fall. Just because I don't know why I do that either.
Emma said I love radish greens for my tacos. Though.
Do those taste kind of spicy?
And she wants you to say quinoa again. Is that how you pronounce
quinoa? Quino? Is it quino? I don't know. Stop it. I don't know. Spell it phonetically for me, Emma, because I am terrible.
I don't try to pronounce Spanish
words.
So if we go to a restaurant, I'll point at it and order it, or I'll ask her to pronounce it.
But like,
and then I'm like,
I don't pronounce it very well.
I can't roll my R's or anything. I'm just.
He's hilarious when he
I just talk hick.
Like,
that's all I know.
So cute.
I talk business for work, and then I talk hick for.
I don't even think you really talk hick though.
Yeah, when I get around with friends, I do. Jobs. Both sunflower and pea green microgreens are high in protein. These have more protein than red meat, regular peas.
Really? I didn't realize that. We were eating them gangbusters last year when they first were edible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drops. Black oil seed sunflowers are typically used for microgreens.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Chia salvia? Seriously, Bruce? Really? I have salvia growing in my garden.
Mm-hmm.
I grew chia and it got 50. Oh my God! Are you serious?
I didn't know that was possible.
Please tell me it was like in an office where you just let it go insane.
It's quinoa.
Quinoa.
You said it well.
Even close.
Even Isaac says quinoa. Yeah. See, that's what I get.
Well, then Isaac's like quinoa, and I'm like, what is Isaac trying to say? I was waiting for you to get to it, and it totally got on my head.
Call it quinoa.
Quinoa. That's how we say it in Indiana.
Make sure we say Chipotle right, at least.
Chipotle, right? Or is it Chipotle? Sometimes I'll be like, I want Chipotle.
We're bad for if we want to go to a restaurant, we'll call it the wrong name.
Like for years, Chili's was the because Joe's like, I want to go to the
We have Skyline here. We call it Scalini's.
Scalini's.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm really terrible about butchering words.
Drop said I typically grow Sango purple radish for microgreens.
Huh. Ooh, you plant a lot of microgreens. I will have to binge watch some of your videos because I really want. I know. That's why everybody's putting a laughing face because I was like, what's so funny? Quinoa.
Audra said, I absolutely did not get any of our family's green thumb. My thumb is black. I can't even keep poinsettias or succulents alive, and they're supposed to be the easy ones.
It's okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It just takes practice. Maybe you need to find like the right succulent.
Yeah. And we've had some trial and error with some of the plants.
Yeah, they're
like her mom, has got tons of plants, and
she's got a poinsettia. She's kept a poinsettia line for like 6 years.
Yeah. But she'll always give us like sprouts off of her stuff, and some of it does well and some doesn't. But it's weird because it's such a different environment.
It is a different environment. You've been at my mom's house, Audra, where they're just kind of like in the middle of the woods, so they get they don't get a whole lot of sun saturation. There's a lot of shade or filtered light. Like her stuff that doesn't like it there loves my house because it's like full sun all day long.
So Bruce said the bees go nuts for chia flowers too. It's a cool plant.
I might have to try. You guys saw like look. I have a problem. I'm only gonna show you a couple. I bought more seeds yesterday at Menards. Look, I'm excited about that. And I know people are like, this is so cliche, Ashley. This just came out from Breakers. Chinese wallflower. But like Baker Creek kind of talked this up that they were going to be offering this year. So I was like, I must have it.
It's just a decorative plant.
It is just a decorative plant. It's real pretty. I can't wait.
And the bees will like it.
I'm sure the bees will like it. But look how pretty it is. Mark, I was like, look how pretty this is. Mark's like, that looks disgusting. I'm like, what? Not.
Me and our daughter tease her pretty bad. She had like a film, like a clip she was doing from one of her videos. It was like this rock as when we were in the Smoky Mountains. And she's like, Joe, look at this rock. It's beautiful.
It was a pretty rock. I will post it. I will maybe make it a short because like I was telling her like, look how pretty this rock is. And so like I'm filming it and she puts her foot on it real hard. She's like, ugly, and walks off.
Right on camera.
Like that is definitely my child.
Put music over it.
I had to mute it.
Yeah.
Put music over it, but like, oh my god, it makes me almost like start like cry laughing.
Yeah. You just see a big shoe come in, step on a rock, and it's
like
ugly.
The most ratty looking sneaker. She's like ugly. I'm like, some bad words just came to my mind to call you for that. Like, why did you do that? I'm like, you're totally my kid, though. I would do that.
Emma said, I had a black thumb most of my life. I used to kill everything. I've only been able to grow more than I kill in recent years.
Yeah. It just takes practice. It really does. Or, like, till you find some of those easy plants that you get your confidence up. Sometimes I feel like, and this is going to sound like such a hippie, and I'm sorry for that ahead of time, but it's almost like they can feel when you think you're going to kill them because like, well, if you think you're going to kill me, I'm just going to die. I'm just not going to thrive. Like I found like in situations, if I go into it.
Have good vibes when you
Good vibes. Good vibes attract your tribes, man.
Whoa.
Have you never heard that?
No.
Your vibe attracts your tribe?
No. I'm not into the hippie sayings as often as you are.
Yeah, well.
She does have a lot of tie-dye, so
I got made fun of for that, like tie-dye girl, hippie girl. That's what that was called in school. Hippie girl with your high waters and your tie-dye. And I was like, whatever. Look, clover. I don't know why I bought this. Crimson clover. I think I wanted it for my pollinators. There's a butt ton of seeds in here too. Then we've got buckwheat. I tried to do more for my pollinators this year. I know, I'm trying to. Rose red soba. I'm trying to do more for my pollinators, even if it's like taking it to the back 40 and like wild sowing things, so that they have things to like go to or attract other swarms so that I can catch them.
Bruce said he has, what is that?
Celosia, isn't that?
It self-seeds everywhere. Oh, yeah.
This is like, it's Celosia, but it's the Chinese wallflower type. I think I had another type of Celosia. Oh, no.
It seeds everywhere, so we'll have to be careful.
Like, does it mean it's like super invasive, like we'll take over, need to rip it out like mint? Mint goes psychotic in my garden. I have to rip it out every year. Hollyhocks! I've got all kinds of flowers. I didn't buy a whole lot of vegetables, but like I have really good luck with direct sowing or even starting my seeds for vegetables. Now I say that and I won't grow anything this year. So like I don't really feel the need to have like packets and packets of different varieties of like tomatoes. I know tomatoes is like a big thing. People like to have a lot of different varieties, but I don't even like to eat tomatoes. I just like to grow them. So unless he wants salsa or like pico de gallo.
Drop said buckwheat is a good one to grow.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because it was pretty. It was pretty on top of it.
He looks at the picture and it's like, oh, I need this.
And I'm terrible because like a lot of people are like, make sure you look at the zone. And I'm like, see if it does good here or not. Like,
Emma,
zone schmo.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. That's right.
Rustic Tradition said, I need more flower seeds. Yes.
Yeah, and then because I did the egg thing, look, like Old Reading Farm sent me. Which if you guys saw my video, you know this is what they gave me.
That Chinese wallflower might be good to end up in our pollinator bed.
I'm hoping to put it up in the pollen. Some of these, like, I really am hoping to put. If the farmer doesn't mow it again this year.
Says, no, it's not invasive. I let it go because
the bees like it. Well, then I would probably be more apt to let it go psychotic. The mint I let go kind of crazy.
Because I know we got some like mix of color stuff in it.
Where'd I put that daggone thing?
There it is.
It's not invasive, it's evasive because I couldn't find it in that stack.
Because like our pollinator bed garden has like a mix of different things. I always worry about stuff like that's closer to the ground.
Plant 6 to 8 inches apart. And then they'll tell you how tall it's gonna get, but I told you how far apart it needs to be.
We don't know.
It doesn't say on there. I bet if I went online, I could find it.
Yeah.
Is it frost hardy? In big bold letters. No, it's not. Which is okay. That's fine. Even if it's just for a season, I'll be happy to have it.
Yep.
Even if it's just for a season. So Audra is talking to Drops over there.
About her black thumb.
About her blum. Oh, they died very expensively. That's the worst too. When you're like, gosh.
You put money into it.
I'm telling you, don't ever get livestock, Audra. Livestock is dead stock.
And it's always the stuff you like really don't care about or like, that needs to die. It'll go crazy.
Yeah. Like the mint, I don't care about the mint plants, but they're nice to have.
Mm-hmm.
And they've gone like buck wild. They're all over the place.
Traditions said that he met us with the video about the farmer mowing down your plants.
Is that where you met us?
Mm-hmm.
I was really upset.
That's where the Chinese wallflower is now going into the mowed.
I'm leaving that wire up too to remind them, don't mow here. I really would actually like to make a sign for our farm. What are your guys' takes on that? And I guess because I maybe am expecting YouTube stardom or fame. Not really. But I really worry about sometimes putting like a sign out front where they'll be like Malboy Ranch Farm, that's where they're at. Or like even not so much for that, like selling stock on my Facebook page or putting them up for consideration because we know how Facebook is about selling animals.
That would help too because we're off the road quite a bit. So
and they always miss us.
Yeah.
Like they always miss us.
I'm sure our neighbor gets started because everybody turns around in their driveway.
Yeah. And I figure maybe that sign would help with that. And it would double as kind of like for the farmer, like, hey, don't do anything in this area. He's a nice guy too. Like, do not get me wrong. The farmer next door is a very nice gentleman, but I did not have nice words for him that day.
They did feel bad about him knowing it.
I just planted all kinds of things too. Like I had just gotten done planting things to see them go crazy next year, and then he mowed them all down.
Yeah.
I bought like wild bergamot. I bought some native plants that would do well. Milkweed, even though I know like some people, I can't really tell if milkweed is invasive or if it's a native. Some people are like, well, showy milkweed is invasive, but this type of milkweed is native. I just got milkweed because the monarchs like it. And the reason I planted it up there is because milkweed to goats is toxic. So I didn't want my goats getting it.
What was that?
Oh my God. The cats are fighting in the garage. It scared me to death.
Made me jump.
The dog's going over to the door to investigate. Yeah. It scared me to death.
I have to figure that out.
Because it's never like...
It sounded like a half duck, half cat. It was weird.
It was.
We have weird creatures around here.
Yeah.
Drop said, Time is just another member of the mint family, by the way.
Is it really?
Oh, cool.
You guys are so much smarter when it comes to plants. I can tell you everything about goats, but like not plants. Stuff. See, Drops, you need to help my cousin Audra over there, Methamphetamine, because she needs help with her black thumb. I feel so bad for that.
Emma said, I'm making a sign for our channel. I'm actually going to work on another channel sign this weekend.
Really? Oh, that's right, because cool. You're a graphic designer, aren't you, Emma? You're like real techie with this stuff. You and Adrian with your wealth of knowledge and things.
Rustic Tradition said, last year I planted green beans on our fence, but didn't know the neighbor's lawn due to spraying the fence line with Roundup. I couldn't figure out why it all died until I saw him one day. Oh, that's the worst.
Now, I know his sister had a problem with that, the farmer over there, which, like, her fence, you know how people are about fences, too. Like, when you put up a fence, like, you're kind of like, don't put Roundup, like, on my fence line. That's really something you should communicate with, like, the property owners that are on both sides. Because on the other side of where they were, like, spraying Roundup along her fence, she's actually got privacy fence. And she's got her goats on the other side. So they're grazing animals. And they were just like straight up going down with Roundup. And it's like, if the goats eat that, it could kill them. So it was like super stressful for her. So I totally get where you're coming from on that. Like that's heartbreaking.
Drop said monarch butterflies.
They need it. Yeah, they do. And then I'm planting dill this year for swallowtails.
Sandra said, okay, I just recently found out coriander seed and cilantro is the same freaking plant. Did you all know this? This is common knowledge. No, I'm not a big fan of cilantro.
No,
Drops probably know though.
He probably does, but Audra, I don't do culinary stuff.
He said he'll send her plastic flowers. And he said, yes, I did know about that. That's funny.
I like plastic. At least you're cool. Hey, we had a neighbor down by my mom's house where every year no flowers bloomed, but plastic flowers made an appearance. Which I'm like, at least they can accept that they want some type of nature, but they know not at their own hand.
Yep, I did say I'm a graphic designer, but designing the sign and creating it in wood. So it's going to be like those old vintage signs you'd see in front shops. That is awesome.
Video, right? Yeah, video.
Definitely.
That is so cool.
So I guess it would be etched into the wood then.
Yeah, so like you'd be using like a router and stuff on that, I guess. I don't know wood stuff. Emma. I would love to be like I know some stuff from like shop class. But literally when I build something, it is so ragged thrown together. I'm like, good enough.
Rustic Traditions. I'm putting off non-living stuff over there now. Yes, my goats loved grazing along that fence, but I had to move them. Yeah.
They're better than Roundup. A goat is 10 times better about clearing like a fence, especially if you don't want them to get through the fence. They will stick their heads through and so like in the summertime, I don't almost have to weed eat or mow up against my fences because if the goats can get their heads through, they will mow it all down.
Oh yeah.
Very nicely. That's kind of crazy.
Tinker's wife, Patty, said cilantro is the leaf, coriander is the seed.
Okay.
That makes sense. Huh.
Yeah. I'm not culinary inclined. He likes to cook and stuff. I'm just not like a Susie homemaker type. Even like as far as plants, like the most I will do is like start it inside and put it outside. And then even then like the weeds might still get to it a little bit, but I mean we've had good luck with it that way too. I mean, the only thing I really will put a ton of effort into making sure that it doesn't really get sick or it's in the best condition. Obviously, I am a goat person. Like my livestock and my animals, I will put like every cent into them to keep them healthy. He knows. He watches the bank account. But it is what it is. Oh, well, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up because I'm starting to get tired. And we have to work in the morning. And I know all of you lovely people probably have
Emma
things to
said
do.
It'll be more like embossed. I'm cutting out the artwork and lettering out the of wood and gluing
You're
them
so
in.
talented,
That is
Emma.
awesome. That's going to turn out really cool.
That is amazing.
One of the effects I like right now is when they do the like the burnt into the
Yes.
wood, the wood grains, and then
Yes.
they like lacquer it or seal it.
Can you do like that one thing where you attach like electrical current and it like burns up, like almost like they look like root?
Spider.
Yeah, like the lightning and like the root system on it. I need to know this before I say bye. I'm sorry. I know I was going to say bye, but then Emma made me super interested.
Maldra said people use goats here to get rid of the kudzu.
Yeah, I heard that that's a big thing down south. Emma,
right.
answer. I don't want to leave until Emma answers me. When will you start the next one next week? It will. Yes, it's always at 8. It is always at 8.
Wednesday.
And
we're going to be rushing next week, but I think we're going to be.
Yeah, I have a 4-H meeting that we have to go to for like youth quality care of animals, where Joe has to get like a yearly certification in order to show her animals at fair, which I am in agreement for, make them take the class and know things about their animals. So I will be running, like dead running, to get here in time.
Yeah.
Okay, Emma did answer, and then we can go good night.
I haven't done that method, but I'm using Shugi band for the backboard. Huh. I'll have to look at.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I hope you make a video on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. I am out for the night.
Yep. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, join us next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want, go look at the merch. And we will see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Good having you.
The